Page 46, fourths. At the top of the page, they're talking about melodic fourths and fifths, intervals. I already told you in a previous video how to calculate any interval. You simply count up. So if I start on a C and I want a fourth, I go, and the note you're on is always 1. Don't start with 0. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a fourth. They're all fourths. I could count down, but it's dangerous. It's easier to count up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Doesn't matter. You have to be careful when dealing with intervals because there's a situation where it messes it up, depending on which direction you go. For instance, we're also doing fifths here. So do a fifth here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are fifths. Well, if I say the note name and I'm dealing with intervals, it's important that I always say the bottom note first and go up, never go down. For instance, if I want a fourth, in this case it is a C and an F. I always go up, because if I turn it around and try and go down and I say an F to C, that's not a fourth. An F to C is a fifth. You see how that's the problem. They're not the same if you're talking about note names. You can count either direction, you can play them either direction, but if you're just saying note names, only go up. And that's what melodic is one after another. In this case, that is, melodic is they're not at the same time. Right? We went through that before. Why you need to know this is we're leading into something else, and in order to understand something else, you need to understand this. So just take my word for it. It's important, so please try and understand it. Don't read more into it than this. Just let's keep this in mind. So at the bottom of the page, they give the fourth. They're using fourths in this piece of music. That's why it's called fourths. Let's look at this. It's 2 lines long. Got a bunch of quarter notes and half notes. 4/4 time. So we're counting to 4. And we're counting quarter notes. So in the right hand, you got C's and an S. It looks like that, and then 2 measures later, you got some D's and a G. Left hand does the second line. You got C's and an F, and some D's, and it's G, and then you're going down. So we get the notes and the fingering. We can go put in the counting. I'm kind of doing both hands at the same time because they're not playing at the same time. It's one hand then the other. It shortens the video a little bit. So I'll just put both hands here and start out with 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, then I go through and make sure I can play it and count it. Second line. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's not the same as the first line. Then I get the notes and the rhythms. Then we do the dynamics, medium loud, and that's the whole thing. It looks like that's the only one. You decide what sort of loud is, and that's how you're allowed to play it. How loud you play it, I don't know. I need some coffee. Then it says speed is moderately slow. Well, that's like a dynamic. What is moderately slow? Well, what is moderately slow to you? It depends on how I feel, the time of day, how much coffee I've had. Moderately slow, it's just sort of slow. Kind of like a stroll maybe. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Not slow, just sort of slow. If you're going to sing it, would you sing it sort of slow? I don't know. And then once you have all that, we can do the play with me and check to make sure we got the right notes and the rhythms. And let's do that now. I'll give us 4 counts. 1, 2, ready, go. 3, 4. 4. 4. off.